quiet in Lumajang, Indonesia. Destroyed homes and fields blackened with ash. This is what's left of the village after days of chaos.
Tidak ada cerita, peringatan tidak ada. Semua tidak ada.
At least 34 people are dead, killed by the sudden eruption of this 12,000-foot volcano, Mount Semeru, on Saturday. More than 20 people are still missing and thousands have been displaced from their homes, as those who survived still fight for their lives and relive the horror of that day.
Saya kepanasan di dalam mobil. Kepanasan dalam mobil pas lava kayaknya berhenti sebentar gitu. Aku keluar dari mobil. Makanya saya terjun dari mobil ini langsung kena lava ini.
Tapi alhamdulillah masih diberi kesempatan.
Meanwhile, volunteers continue to search for those unaccounted for.
Sesekali kepada saya merasa sangat gak kuat istilahnya melihat jenazah dengan kondisi seperti seorang ibu bersama anak dengan kondisi badan sudah terbakar.
The president today promising to reinforce evacuation efforts and repair damaged homes. Mount Semeru is one of more than 100 active volcanoes in Indonesia.
It has some form of activity regularly.
Why do you think that people were so surprised by this happening?
The last time it had an eruption of this size looks like it was in the 60s.
Wow.
Since the last time it had an eruption of this size, the population has grown and more people are living closer and closer to a volcano.
Today, the volcano erupted another 3 times, with officials warning there's still potential for further flows of hot gas, ash, and rocks in the area. Isa Gutierrez, NBC News.
Welcome to Straddled Events. On this channel, we bring you the truth. Sometimes the truth is quite ugly, unbearable, and you just don't want to deal with it. But on this channel, you're going to get it anyway. We deal with controversial and very highly opinionated topics. It is called straddled events because most people are one foot in and the other foot out, meaning you are straddling between the fence of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And on this channel, we're going to tell you to do better. Let's go.
The volcano, located in East Java, erupted in the afternoon. Ash clouds blocked out the sun, with the clouds rising to 40,000 foot in the air. Residents were forced to flee their homes. Following the eruption, ash blanketed homes and vehicles. Lava flows destroyed bridges and buildings near the volcano, with lava avalanches being reported on its slopes. The eruption lasted for over an hour and followed a series of over 50 earthquakes the previous day. The volcano last erupted in January 2021, and authorities are now on alert for any further activity.
You know, we take things for granted sometimes. We as human beings can be so unthankful and not realize how blessed we are on a daily basis. While you're sitting in the comfort of your home with water, electricity, gas, you're able to watch this program. Some people are going through other things like losing their home, to a volcano that they have no control over. This is very sad. I do videos all the time on the La Palma volcano, strictly because it's just fascinating to see how the lava flows. But can you imagine being rained down with hot mud, lava rocks? Imagine that. The guy is saying that he had to recover a woman that was holding her child and another woman that was hugging her 2 children. They have lost everything. It's over for these people on this island. Now is the time that we should pray and ask God to help these people. if you're in a position to help these people, please do so. They've lost everything. There's still people missing. This is really a sad situation right before the Christmas holiday. I know a lot of these countries don't believe in Christ, and they have the right to believe in whomever they want to believe in, but let's just throw up some prayers for these people, and hopefully that they can recover and move on with their lives. Let's just pray for these folks, that things go better for them. This is a sad situation. So may we ask God to intervene. And I want to just tell you that you need to be more thankful for what you have, for where you are in your life, for whatever God has done for you. Be more thankful. You know, instead of being inconsiderate and unappreciative, do better with that. On this channel, we're going to tell you to do better. 3,000 houses, 38 schools have been damaged by the debris, with ash covering some of the houses all the way up to the rooftop.
At least 14 people have died and dozens have been injured on Indonesia's Java island after an active volcano erupted for the second time in months. Indonesia sits on the Ring of Fire, a region around the Pacific Ocean that's susceptible to volcanoes and earthquakes. The volcano Mount Semeru has been in a state of near constant eruption for decades. Sadaba Haidari reports.
A thick giant volcanic ash cloud on Indonesia's Java island, sneaking up on nearby villages. The debris and smoke so thick it turns day into night, blocking the sun and leaving panic-stricken residents in pitch darkness. The hot lava instantly causes huge destruction. Its first casualty, a 100-meter bridge connecting two areas in East Java. The country's disaster mitigation agency says dozens of people have been injured, including 2 pregnant women. Distraught residents returned to their homes, now submerged in cold lava. Hundreds of other families and children, forced to flee their villages destroyed by the volcano, are taken to nearby shelters.
People behind me who've been evacuated are local villages. Some of the villages are being evacuated to public areas. At the moment, they need assistance like daily necessities, food, drinks. We don't know how long they need to stay here.
Rescuers arrive at a village almost entirely destroyed by lava floods. They search for survivors. Java's highest mountain, at almost 4,000 meters, erupted at 3 p.m. local time on Saturday. The volcano has been in a state of near constant eruption for decades. Sitting on the Ring of Fire, a region around the Pacific Ocean, Indonesia is prone to volcanoes and earthquakes. In 2018, a volcano in the strait between Java and Sumatra Islands killed more than 400 people. Sadaba Haidari, BBC News.
Baldia Baraputri has the latest from Jakarta.
The Indonesian Disaster Mitigation Agency has confirmed that 13 people had died and dozens of others are injured and suffered from burn. Meanwhile, they're still looking for one missing person, and according to a local official, 10 people are still trapped in their homes. Meanwhile, 900 people from villages in the area are evacuated to mosques, school buildings, and village meeting halls. According to the SAR team, they are now have received enough basic needs such as clothing, food, first aid, and masks. They cannot take anything with them. Their houses that are covered with thick volcanic ash are beyond repair, and their livestock are killed by the eruption. The eruption of Mount Semeru had also destroyed a bridge in the area that connect two regencies, and so at least a couple of villages volcanoes in that area are isolated. This makes it difficult to deliver aid to people that are isolated in those villages. But local officials hope as soon as the weather permits, the rescue and aid can be carried out by helicopter.
How much of a warning did people have of what was happening?
Well, according to the Indonesian volcanological survey, they have sent out early warning on the 1st of December to the local government and officials. However, they also sent out the same early warning to about 69 other active volcanoes in Indonesia. So they said that they have sent out the early warning, and the local official says that according to the visibility on the ground, they says that the early eruptions shows no danger to the area at that time on December 1st.
The disaster in Indonesia. More than a dozen people dead after a volcano erupted on the country's most populated island. James Longman is tracking the latest and the fears of another eruption. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. This was an enormous eruption on Java Island in Indonesia. Mount Semeru sent hot ash and smoke thousands of feet up into the air, turning the sky black. People scrambling to safety any way they could, fleeing on motor scooters as ash rained down around them. Molten rocks streaming down the mountainside, engulfing entire villages. People tried to escape in trucks, and you can see them now almost completely submerged in the ash. Hundreds of homes have been destroyed and more than 30 schools. You can see roofs jutting out of the mud, which is now thickening across the landscape. Rescue efforts did have to stop briefly because of wind and rain, and there's concern that the volcano may flare up again. At least 14 people were killed, but with many more missing, that number is very likely to rise. More than 1,000 people are now in rescue centres, unsure whether their homes survived this tragedy.